Hi everyone, and welcome to day 33 of What on Earth Am I Here For? And today we're going to talk about how real servants act. Whoever wants to be great must become a servant. Mark 10:43. You can tell what they are by what they do. Matthew 7:16. We serve God by serving others. Boom. Okay, I'm just reading this, and it's funny because I talked about this in the last chapter and now it's right here. So I'm so sorry if it's a little mixed up, but I'm just talking naturally, and apparently I'm one chapter ahead. So basically, when you're given talents, you shouldn't be centered on yourself, but rather, Pastor Rick says a servant's heart is more important because you might be tempted to exempt yourself from service. Pastor Rick says, your shape reveals your ministry, but your servant's heart will reveal your maturity. No special talent or gift is required to stay after a meeting or pick up trash. Anyone can be a servant, and it requires character. But here's the thing, just when you say anyone can be a servant doesn't mean that the value of being a servant is any less than your uniqueness and capability. In fact, you being a servant in the world, you choosing to put others first, is even more valuable, because when you go through life giving, you will actually have more joy in total. Well, not that that is your perspective. See, that's the trick. You do give to give, and then you receive and receive. But when you give to receive, you don't really give, and you won't really receive. I hope I'm getting across to you very clearly. Your heart must be in it to give, and in that way, you will be abundantly blessed. And that is a servant's heart. Real servants are available to serve, and they never say no. It's kind of like when I'm around anyone and they sort of need something, I feel that I am there to be able to help them. And if I don't help them, it would be a disservice to my life. And me being here is, the part of a lot of the reason that I'm here is for others to be helped by my presence. And if I don't do that, then I'm not being true to myself. And part of that is being available to God at any time. So that means even when you don't feel like it, sometimes you have to sacrifice, even if they're not that close to you, because they're still children of God. And when you do this, like a lot of times when I do good things like this, God will make a jeepney pass and say, I love you, or He will play the song True Colors. It says, I see your true colors shining through. And it's also when I give that I feel the most happy. And that's what I want to share with you guys, because it's not something that you do so people will see you, and it's not something you do because you have to or you were taught to, but it is a joy to be able to give something to someone because you can. And that is beautiful, and that is love, and that is a servant's heart. And I hope that you try it, because the more that you try it, something inside you will awaken and you will know what I'm feeling. And I'm sure you felt it 1,000 times. Maybe you haven't. Some have consciously felt it and some not so consciously, but it's amazing. And when we all work and live that way with a servant's heart, this world will be the kingdom of God, and it will be a joy. Real servants pay attention to needs of others. It's like, what can I do for you? Or like when you're talking to friends and you know that they're not really feeling that up to it, then you can help them, right? And even if they're not friends, if they're office mates who are feeling a little cranky, you already know that you should try to be more patient, just because it'll help everyone, and that's what they need from you right at that moment. So John Wesley was an incredible servant of God, and his motto was do what you can in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you can. That is greatness. You can begin by looking for small tasks that no one wants to do, and do these things as if they were great things, because God is watching. Real servants do their best with what they have. So, a lot of people say, I'm going to be giving when I'm 80 years old, when I'm retired. In the meantime, it doesn't give you a free pass to treat other people badly or scream at somebody else in your office or anyone like this. I mean, there will never be perfect conditions for you to be perfectly okay in order for you to perfectly give. The fact is, even if you're not perfectly okay, you can still give. One reason many people never serve is they feel that they're not good enough, but that's not true. Every moment that you're living on this earth means you're capable of helping somebody else. And you shouldn't, there are lots of rationalizations. Oh, it's this, or oh, I shouldn't give to this poor person because they're just going to use it for this and that and that. Well, you know what? Whatever help that you can give will help another human person, and that in itself is a reason far heavier than any other excuse or rationalization not to. Real servants do every task with equal dedication. That's why we do it with all your heart. Well, because if you don't do it with all your heart, it's also a disservice to you. Because if you do it half-heartedly, what happens is that you will be creating negative emotions in your heart, which is horrible. But if you do it wholeheartedly and do it happily, then as you do the thing which costs you already some time and already some money and already whatever it costs you, you'll be adding joy to yourself as you do the thing that you are giving, right? So it also, some people think that if they give to others that they themselves are decreased. Oh no. We're all the same in God's eyes, but this giving and this love and this sacrifice is the work, is the real work that we are here for. And it doesn't make you any less of a person, and it does not make you any more of a person. But what it does is it makes you truer to the spirit that is within you, and it makes your spirit joyful, and it makes you more authentically you. Small tasks need a big and true heart to do them. Real servants are faithful to their ministry. So what does this mean? It means that they don't leave a job half undone or don't quit when they get discouraged. Because when you do quit, it's like you stop when you don't feel like it. And part of the test is this recording right here, because I tried to do some videos and I must have recorded it at least 4 or 5 times already. Twice on video and 3 times on this program, which ended up not working out. And so I was delayed, but I already made a commitment to finish these 40 days with you. And that's why I am still here and I will finish this with you. So God is a promise keeper. And if you're going to be a servant of God, you have to be a promise keeper as well. Something that God really values highly is keeping your word, because a person who doesn't keep his word has no power and no honor to show. That's why he even says you can swear on your name. Like if you swear something and you put God's name on it, it's like he will be the assurance that if you don't keep it, there will be consequences. That's how important honor is to God. And when you do something well, He says, "Very good, my good and faithful servant. You've been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." Yay, right? That's amazing. If have you ever had your teacher tell you good job or this was excellent? It feels amazing. And because you know that you deserve it, you know it's true. Another thing is that real servants maintain a low profile. It's because I don't know what it is about pride and arrogance, but it sort of dirties the beauty of whatever you've done. If you've done it for yourself and you know you did it well, that is your reward because you did it and you know you did your best and it feels good. But some people take it another step further where it has to be validated by others, and sometimes they do it even if they didn't do it well. They get the external praise but they don't get the internal rewards. So I guess what I'm saying is work off for the internal rewards of you knowing that you did your best, of you knowing that you authentically served, of you appreciating the gift of life that you've given to others or the gift of love that you've given to others, right? Because when you show off, God's rule is that pride comes before the fall. When you show off, it is arrogance and it is pride. It's putting yourself above others, and that is wrong. And that will create for you consequences because it is sin. So your heart has to be in the right place. And that is what God sees. If I were still trying to please men, I would not be a servant of Christ, says Paul. Because in the end, the only audience that is important for you and me is God. And you have to know the eyes with which He sees. He sees the heart. And your heart has to be in the right place as you give and as you serve in order for it to be worthwhile for Him. So I hope you understand this. The more authentic you are to the best part of yourself, the happier God will be with anything that you do, whether it's picking up a little piece of trash or fixing someone's hair or telling someone that they've got dirt on their shirt with the best intention, not to make them feel bad, right? Your intentions are what matters, but intention plus action, intention plus real sacrifice is golden for God. So when Christ shows up again on this earth, you'll show up to the real you, the glorious you. Meanwhile, just be content in doing your work. So there comes a time when God comes back and He will see us and we will see Him, and that will be our reward, right? So knowing this, don't be discouraged when your service is unnoticed, because in the meanwhile, you're not doing it for being noticed. So just be joyful in your work. Be joyful. Throw yourself into your work. Throw yourself into love. And this is one thing that I always keep in mind. Any work and any sacrifice I have is love. I'm loving others. I'm loving the people that I serve. And that in itself is a joy. To be able to do that, to have the power to love others, is a joy. So day 33, I serve God by serving others. Verse to remember, if you give even a cup of cold water to one of the least of my followers, you will surely be rewarded. Matthew 10:42. And remember, the reward is internal as well as external from God. Question to consider: which of the 6 characteristics of real servants is the greatest challenge to me? Let me recap. Real servants maintain a low profile. Real servants are faithful to their ministry, keep their word. Real servants do every task with equal dedication. Real servants pay attention to the needs of others. And real servants make themselves always available to serve. So, how can you be more of a real servant? Don't worry, it's all good. I love you. God bless.